it and gave me his seat, and I sat in that. At the next stop, the same thing happened again. Like after he gave me the seat, he got another seat and he offered the second seat to another person. This happened 4 times during the entire journey. The man looked like a normal worker returning home after a long day at work. At the last stop, when all of us got off, I spoke to him. Why are you giving your seat to another person every time you got a vacant seat? His answer took me by surprise. He said that I haven't studied much in my life, nor do I know many things. I don't have much money either, so I don't have anything much to give to anyone. That's why I do this every day. It's something I can do easily. After working all day, I can stand for a little longer. I gave my seat to you and you said thank you. It gave me satisfaction that I did something for someone. I do this daily and feel I am contributing in some way to the society. I go back home refreshed and happy every day that I gave something to someone. Believe me, I was speechless. Wanting to do something for someone on a daily basis is the ultimate gift. This stranger taught me a lot, and he has taught us a lot. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Having said this, serving to the society, today we have one of the most popular, charismatic, and energetic leader among us and in the juvenile service community, giving her best for the betterment of the society. Gives 100% for any task assigned to her. Will always be there for any kind of support and guidance. Can make anyone feel at ease with her disarming smile. A trained clinical psychologist, certified life coach, corporate trainer. She has got a work experience of more than 25 years in the field of corporate training and counseling, and a PhD in psychology. Currently working as the school counselor in International Indian School, Al Jubail. Started Toastmasters journey in 2015, and she was our Vice President Public Relations for 2 years in ATC. Dear Arabians, help me welcome Toastmaster of the Day, Dr. Shanti Rekha. Over to you, Dr. Shanti Rekha.
Am I audible? Great. Thank you, President Toastmaster Arul, for the delightful introduction. I am humbled by your words. Visionary leader, President Sir, enthusiastic fellow Toastmasters, and eminent guests. A very good evening to one and all. Happy Diwali too. As the Toastmaster of the day, tonight my job is to be a host and make tonight's session a very colorful one. Let me start with a beautiful greeting. Thank you. As we see, the theme of the day is butterfly. To reach the face of beautiful, enchanting butterfly, it is not an easy journey. Let me start with a short story. Once upon a time, a man found a butterfly that was starting to hatch from its cocoon. He sat down and watched the butterfly for hours as it struggled to force itself through a tiny hole. Then it suddenly stopped making progress and looked like it was stuck. Therefore, the man decided to help the butterfly out. He took a pair of scissors and cut off the remaining bit of the cocoon. The butterfly then emerged easily, although it had a swollen body and small, shriveled wings. The man thought nothing of it, and he sat there waiting for the wings to enlarge to support the butterfly. However, that never happened. The butterfly body was tiny and wrinkled, and the wings were all crinkly. The butterfly spent the rest of the years of this life unable to fly, crawling around with small wings and a swollen body. Despite the man's kind heart, he did not understand that restricting cocoon and the struggle needed by the butterfly to get itself through small hole were God's way of forcing fluid from its body of the butterfly into the wings to prepare itself for flying once it was free. The principle the man did not understand is hardship law. The moral of the story: our struggles in life help us to develop our strengths. Without struggles, we never grow and get stronger. So, it is important for us to tackle challenges on our own and not relying on help from others all the time. The final beautiful butterfly, from egg to butterfly, presents many learnings to our humankind. The initial stage, that is egg, is called the dream stage, where here you all can dream about you can potentially become or do in future. The larva stage, the growth stage, where one gathers information, shares ideas, conducts experiments, and launches into action. The cocoon stage. This is the transformation stage. From outside, it looks like resting, but inside, big things happen. Your main goal is the stage in which you focus on the process of transformation, and the last stage, that is a leap stage, learning to fly. This is when you come out of the cocoon. You are the only one who can make it happen to become the butterfly. That is not the end of the journey, it's the beginning. We have to remember no stage is permanent. When bad things happen, as Bible said, we should say, this too shall pass as the present pandemic. Like a butterfly evolving, we must love and value each stage we pass through. We should take delight in the beauty of the butterfly. We take delight in the beauty of the butterfly, but rarely understand the struggles it has gone through. When someone is successful, we see only the tip of the iceberg success and not the struggles underneath. For example, our DTM Suresh, DTM Vijay must have gone many hardships to become DTMs as well as champion speakers. Everything in our life is there as a vehicle for a transformation. With these transformational words, let's enter the educational segment. To help me in conducting today's meeting, I have a team of beautiful butterflies, able, ingenious Toastmasters. I would like to introduce each one of them. I request you to hold your applause until I finish introducing all the assignees. For general evaluation, we have General Evaluator Toastmaster Uday Kumar. I shall introduce some detail before the evaluation segment. But Toastmaster Uday Kumar, could you please acknowledge your presence and briefly explain your role as a general evaluator?
Good evening, Toastmaster of the day and fellow Toastmaster. Am I audible?
Yes.
My role as general evaluator is to observe and evaluate everything from the beginning to the end of the meeting. and to lead constructive evaluation session when called upon to do so. I shall wrap up the entire proceedings of the meeting, complementing good practices and indicating the areas requiring improvement. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Uday. Today's grammarian and word master is a bachelor in business administration and has certificate in logistics and transportation. He has 12 years experience along the supply chain. Currently, he is working as operation manager with a logistics service company called Sartok. According to him, butterfly is a good inspiration to the human being to be passionate, enjoy each part of the life and see the beauty. The beautiful butterfly, the final phase of the beautiful is and harmonious. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Yasin. Toastmaster Yasin, could you please explain your role as a grammarian and word master?
Good evening, everybody. My role as the word master is to introduce a new word as the word of the day and explain the same with a proper illustration. My role as grammarian is to listen to all the members and make notes of good and not so good usage of the language. Also, note down the use of the word of the day and report the same at the end of the educational session.
Thank you, Toastmaster Yasin. You did not introduce the word of the day.
The word is the day is Euphoria.
Thank you. Right. Then the next role, as our counter, we have a Toastmaster who has many feathers in his cap at a very young age. He is a bachelor in electrical engineering, master's in international business, has 5 years experience as project engineer with Honeywell, first year as DCS engineer with SABIC. According to him, butterfly effect comes to mind when one small act can have a huge impact. Hence, we need to make decisions about even the smallest of our acts. Let's welcome DTM Vijay with a thunderous round of applause. DTM Vijay, could you please explain your role as the R counter?
Toastmaster Day, for the Toastmasters and guests, good evening. My role as an R counter is to note words and sounds that are used as crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen for overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler sounds, including and I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase, such as I, or this means. At the end of the meeting, I'll give my report when called upon to do so. Back to you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, DTM Vijay. To keep an account of the time taken by each speaker, we have an amiable and enthusiastic Toastmaster. He is an electrical engineer and has 27 years work experience. Toastmaster Prashant, could you please explain your role as timer?
Good evening to all. Toastmaster of the day. My role as a timer is to monitor the time assigned to the speakers and the evaluators. And upon the call, I would present the timing actually taken by them.
Thank you, sir. Ballots will decide the winner in each segment. Today, we have a dedicated and devoted Toastmaster, Vasanti, a lady of literature who worked as a science teacher for primary classes before her marriage. Now, she is working with Al-Mutasam International School. She believes that every person's colorful life has a beautiful journey. Fly high and make the world colorful like butterfly is her philosophy. She will be launching the poll at the end of each session. She is none other Toastmaster Vasanti with a charming smile. Madam, could you please explain your role as Zoom master and vote counter?
Thank you for the wonderful introduction, Toastmaster Shantireka. Good evening, dear Toastmasters. I am your Zoom master and as well the vote counter for today's meeting. I'll be launching poll for the best speaker, evaluator, and table topic, and also the best role player. I will launch the poll when call upon to do so, and I will be announce the results at the end of the meeting. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vasanti. Tonight, we have a compelling line of eloquent speakers who are going to deliver startling speeches. The first speaker of tonight is a very compassionate, divine, and cogent speaker. He is a mechanical engineer by profession, working for 40 years. His take on butterfly is one can be happy without any external trigger mechanism. Be carefree and share the joy en route to success. Wonderful. It's amazing. Tonight, he will be attempting Pathways L1 Speech 3. His speech will be evaluated by Toastmaster Nilesh. Toastmaster Nilesh, could you please read out his speech objectives?
Yeah, madam, good evening and good evening to all. There is a little correction. Actually, he is no attending the L2, level 2 and speech 2. There is some typo in a agenda. Okay. So the purpose of his speech is to demonstrate the whatever the feedback given in the last speech. So he has to apply that feedback in this speech. Thank you.
And the time taken is 5 to 7 minutes?
Yes, 5 to 7 minutes. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Arun Vasan today and tonight's first speaker. The title of his speech is Some Things Are Best Left Unsaid. Some things are best left unsaid. Toastmaster Arun Vasan.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. The best and the most beautiful things cannot be seen or touched. It can be only felt with the heart. I know it was, you must have guessed it, it was said by the blind, the dumb and deaf, Helen Keller. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, a warm good evening to all of you. Sometimes I wonder why say the words in haste and regret it when silence can do the job. But then again, silence is also is not exactly golden, because we are in Toastmasters. We would like to fine tune our art of public speaking all the time. But then we also need to focus a bit more on the non-verbal communications, which play such a vital role in our day-to-day life. It is said by Albert that 7% of the words only carry the meaning. 38% is purely what is called as paralinguistic. It is how the words are said. 55% is only the emotions that we bring into our speech. So this goes on to show that even when we are not exactly talking, we are still making a statement knowingly or unknowingly. Hence, it becomes imperative that we put conscious effort to improve this. I was in my college when during my first year, I happened to get into a small problem. I smiled at one of my senior. It was a simple smile. I didn't really go deep into it. But then it triggered a huge relay mechanism. That fellow, he took big offense at my smile. He collected a group of friends and he came to my room. But it was my good day. One of my other seniors was there to stop him. He said, he took stock of the situation. He said, just wait, let me go and talk to him. I'll put some sense into him. Surely there is something wrong. That guy, he wanted to manhandle me. But then it was my, as I said, it was fortunate for me that he listened to my other senior and things smoothened out. And later on, we also became good friends. It set me thinking that how can a harmless smile get into such a physical violence? How can it trigger even a small mini war? Because he was a finalist and I was in first or second year. It would have started a big tussle within us, and fortunately, it kind of smoothed down. My dad, whenever I would cross a particular limit, let's say I'd become more mischievous or I crossed the line, or let's say the Lakshman Rekha part, he would go into the silent mode. He would not talk to me. Sometimes silence can be really deafening. You can feel it across continents also. And I will go and ask everyone, Mom, what happened? Where did I go wrong? Nobody will answer me. And after, let's say, a few days, I'll get a long letter from him where he will mention, look, you did this, and I'm not at all happy with the way you went about that scenario, and give a big explanation. And I would wonder what stopped him from looking into my eyes and explaining the whole thing to me. Just for your information, he still does that to me. If he feels that I am not going by his rule book, he'll go into the silent mode, switch me off completely. These two incidents, it really set me thinking that how can we really improve our nonverbal communication? What is required? We all know that the moment we step out of our home, we are under a scanner. People are watching us. They look at us, the way we dress, the way we emote, the way we express, the way we carry our body language, the way we get into the car that we drive, the tone that we use while speaking. All these factors goes into making an impression before we even, start anything. It is said in marketing that before even I open my mouth to a client, he would have already decided, okay, I will give this job to him or not, because the first impression is what he gets, and he has like already decided on this. But then, a smart person needs to always rework on these things, find out small techniques by which he can make his non-verbal communication more effective. And I thought this can be probably achieved if we can change our attitude or change our personality mildly, nothing big. And that would go on to ensure that the non-verbal communication is done perfectly. Now, the few tips I have, which might be very routine and very common. For example, I would say that you need to eat well, sleep well, dress well, smell well. All these are basic routine. If you can do a bit of meditation, great. But one thing that I really wanted everyone to remember is that we are living on this planet Earth, which is just a speck in the entire universe. And in this planet Earth, we are only a small entity living in some corner of some country, and we need not take ourselves so seriously. We need not think that the whole world's weight or responsibilities on our shoulders. We can just relax. We can let go of all the baggages we carry. That famous proverb which says that less luggage is more comfort. And if you can offload all those small issues and take life easily, it would make a huge difference in our overall personality. I'm sure if you follow just this particular thing, it might take some time. It cannot be achieved overnight. But if we can do this, we will definitely emanate or generate a kind of vibrations or kind of positivity, which can open all the closed doors for us. Those opportunities which looked totally unseeming will become a reality. People whom you thought were not at all approachable, you will be able to talk to them easily. The life in general becomes very, very simple and very, very easy. So my dear fellow Toastmasters, I just have this small piece of advice for you. We need to consciously work on our look, which will probably make an onlooker change his outlook towards life. If you can do that, great. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
That was indeed a great speech. Now we have another dynamic speaker. She is an engineer by education and corporate communication specialist by profession, currently freelancing. She is VPPR of a club as well as for Division L. She was chairperson for Magazine Committee Division E and Division L Conference 2020. The thing that comes into her mind when she speaks about butterfly is it is a symbol of hope and freedom through the times of confinement and despair. She is none another Toastmaster Sangeeta. She is attempting Pathways L2 Speech 1. Her speech will be evaluated by Toastmaster Ashik. Toastmaster Ashik, could you please read out the objectives?
Toastmaster,
Thank
I have
you.
a suggestion, just an observation. Our word master wants to explain the meaning of the word euphoria. He missed it out. He just put it in the chat box. So if you can give him a couple of minutes, he can share it.
Okay. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry for missing it. So the word of the day, as I stated before, is euphoria. The word of euphoria is derived from the ancient Greek term. Eu means well, and Euphoria means to bear. It's a feeling or state of intense excitement and happiness. Example, the euphoria of passing my final exam is a feeling I will never forget. Synonyms, elations, joy, and or ecstasy. All to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Yasin. Okay.
Thank
Toastmaster
you.
Ashik, it's you. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Dr. Shantireka, for the wonderful introduction. And today, our speaker, Toastmaster, Madam Toastmaster Sangeeta, is attempting Level 2, Project 1, that under the path strategic relationship, the purpose of the project is for the member to identify her primary leadership styles and to share some aspects of her primary leadership style and discuss the leadership style in general. Since it's the project, let me read out the notes to the evaluators as well. During the completion of this project, the member is respond to question to help to identify, and the members will deliver the well-organized speech, and the members may choose to speak also our own leadership style. And this speak may be humorous, informational, any style the member chooses. And the speech should be is not to be report of the content of the understanding of the leadership style project. And the topic she has chosen is moment frozen in time, and the time allocated is 5 to 7 minutes. I wish all the best for the completion of the project. With that, over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashik. You have done my job too by announcing or reading out the topic. Okay. The title of the speech, again, I'm just repeating, Moment Frozen in Time. Toastmaster Sangeeta, it's all yours.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
All right, so I may mince up a bit of words because I have a major toothache, but I hope you guys can understand what I'm trying to communicate. The day, 16th February 2016, time 11:30 a.m. A moment in time where the world froze around me. Respected President, Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters, a very good warm evening to you all. As a child, I've always believed that I had all the time in the world to do what I want and to achieve what I want. And never did I spend a minute thinking about how I was utilizing my time. Time is free, but it's priceless. You can't own it, but you can use it. You can't keep it, but you can spend it. Once you've lost it, you can never get it back. I learned that in a hard way on the late morning of 16th February 2016. My husband Rahul had left the previous evening to Delhi for a business meeting, and I was all alone at my apartment in Chennai. On this particular day, I think fate was playing with me and decided that I needed to be taught certain skills practically that would be beneficial for my next job. Since Rahul wasn't at home, I decided to skip my usual routine and thought of having a self-care day. With that in mind, I started setting up a pamper station for myself, equipping it with all things I may need. The pamper station was ready, music was playing, the room all chilled from the AC. I just needed one more thing. With an unusual skip to my step and an euphoric state of mind, swaying to the music, I made my way to the kitchen. With the prong or pakkad in hand, I picked up a heavy pot of boiling water. To this day, I don't know what happened, nor did my brain ever register what happened. But in a moment, the entire pot of boiling water fell on to my left leg. Time froze for a moment, but it felt like a lifetime for me. The pain, it coursed through my body and sparked the neurons in my brain, and that's when I knew I had to take a call. I knew that I had to think critically if I needed to salvage the situation. That was my leg. The pot and the pucker just fell from my hand with a clash of sound, and I just ran to the bathroom. I knew that I needed to stand under the cold shower to soothe the burn. Still clothed under the shower, I had the presence of mind to pick my phone up mid-dash from the kitchen. While bracing the pain and the fear into the back of my mind, I started taking the first steps in solving the problem. First things first, I Googled the nearest hospital emergency number and gave them my location and the status of the burn. I could feel my eyes welling up with tears due to the pain and the fear of the unknown. I tried calling Rahul, but his phone was switched off as he was in a meeting in Delhi. With no support system in place for my well-being, I knew I had to do it alone. Next, I Skyped my mom and dad who were in Saudi at that time. I had to show her the condition of my swelling skin and had to go through the entire plan of action to reaffirm that I was okay to handle it alone. I had to pacify her and then gave her the task of alerting my cousin brothers and uncle who were luckily in Chennai for a wedding that weekend. As I was waiting for the ambulance, I knew I couldn't just step out of the shower because of the pain. So I took a towel, dunked it in cold water, and wrapped my entire left thigh with it. I got dressed and even managed to keep my wallet and medical file ready. Lucky for me, before the ambulance could even make it to my place, my uncle and cousin brother managed to reach within 30 minutes of the incident and rushed me to the emergency. Once at the hospital, everything was as per their protocol for second and third degree burn. I, to this date, believe that it was critical thinking at that moment that actually saved my leg. If there is one skill that everyone needed on the planet, it is the ability to think with critical objectivity. Critical thinking has enabled me to analyze the way I think in a situation rather than simply accepting my personal reasoning as sufficient proof. I now have a much better control of my own learnings, as well as empathy for others' point of view. It has enabled me to justify and reflect on my values and decisions in order to live a meaningful life. Through my observation, reflection, analyzing, evaluation, reasoning, and communication, I can now deliberately apply these tools of critical thinking to reach a much more better conclusion than what my brain would automatically settle for. I still have my battle scar, but looking at that scar now reinforces the belief that I have what it takes to be a leader. This scar is a reminder that in the face of adversities, I have the ability to get and handle things under pressure and to get out of the loop in one piece. That is one important quality that we need in leaders today, where the world and its environment is so dynamic, driven by information and technology. After all, Francis Bacon has said that true leaders are those who read, not to contradict or confute, not to believe and take for granted, not to talk and discourse, but to weigh and consider. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
It was indeed an enthralling speech. Great. Our next speaker is a bachelor's in dentistry, BLS in pediatrics, and diploma in cosmetic in dentistry. What a great array specialization. She worked with different Gujarat government companies. She had her own clinic too, where various celebrities were her clients. For her, butterfly signifies all color of life, spread color of joy and happiness. One should be like a butterfly to banquet happiness in life. Yes, friends, I'm talking about the positive person, Dr. Toastmaster Sheetal Agarwal. She is attempting Pathways L2, Speech 2. Her speech will be evaluated by Toastmaster Ajit Kumar. Toastmaster Ajit Kumar, could you please read out the speech objective? Sir, unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters of Arabian and Toastmaster Sheetal. Well, the objective is to learn about the different communication styles and identify her primary style. Also, the purpose of this speech is for the member to share the impact of her style on others and herself. The time allotted is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Fellow Toastmasters, please put your hand together to welcome Toastmaster Dr. Sheetal Agarwal. The title of her speech is PR. PR, Sheetal Agarwal, it's all yours.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, I'm clearly visible. Okay. What comes in your mind when you hear PR? Anyone?
Public
Yes.
relation?
Yes. Maybe Dr. Bhavani or the Toastmaster Sangeeta with those beautiful editing and doing a great job as a public relation manager. But I believe the meaning of PR as a personal rapport is more valuable in anyone's life. As for any relationship to be successful, whether it's business or a private, there need to be a loving communication, understanding, and the appreciation. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and respected guests, good evening.
Good evening.
In Saudi Arabia, air conditioner is one of the basic needs. Last month, we planned to change our noisy window type air conditioner to a silent split type. And the search mission started. After visiting many electronic shops, finally we halted at the extra store Jubel. There, salesperson, he explained us different facilities, the different models available along with the prices. There I saw some Arabic labels were pasted on a few models, and I could understand that the salesperson quoted much higher price than mentioned on the label to us for those models. Being curious, I inquired, and he explained me that Saudi government offers a subsidy on the air conditioner to the Saudi citizens of particular brand. To avail this facility, you need to buy the product in the name of Saudi person. Here, Rahul told me, hey, forget about it. Here we don't know anyone. But being little overconfident, I asked him to wait and watch. So he told Manushri, get ready to see the funny and a loser face, and instructed me, don't look for us if anything goes wrong. And in no time, they both were out of my sight. Being an initiating communicator, I approached one Saudi gentleman and explained him the situation. To my surprise, within a minute, he was ready to help us. Being having a particular Saudi ID card, we can get the additional perk of 600 Saudi Riyal discount over the government subsidy. Now what? It's my turn to see their faces. From this, if we need to get the things done, we should initiate the communication, because without initiating the communication, no one can guess what do you need. Here I would like to mention there are 4 communication styles: initiating, direct, supportive, and analytical. Every person has their own unique communication style, the way they interact and exchange the knowledge with others. It's especially very important to understand your primary communication style, because most often you use that style. No style is best, but it may be advantageous to you to play up with one over another style depending on the situation. So make sure to communicate your ideas quickly and directly. And the research says that the effective communication is the 20, only the 20% what you know, and the 80% how you feel about what you know. So the initiating communication, the initiating style, they are spontaneous, they are energetic, enthusiastic, fun-loving. Do you all feel that I have these characteristics? Okay. But when it comes to the profession, I prefer to be the direct communicator because to be successful in your professional life, one should be decisive, confident, decision taking, independent, and the result oriented. Needless to say that you cannot achieve your goal without your personal touch. I remember once after extracting the tooth of my patient, I was little relaxed on giving the post-extraction instructions as just a 1 month back, I have removed one of the front tooth. After 1 week, he reported back to clinic with solemn face. I was shocked. After all the questionnaire, I came to know that he didn't pay any importance to the precautionary measures. He was trying to blame me for not giving the clear instructions. And I was trying to defend myself on the point of negligence. But finally, we end up with the fruitless discussion. Thank God, nothing sinister happened. That day, I realized the importance of personal attention, clear, and the direct communication in the profession. Because to be successful in your profession, and I also learned that there is no place to assumptions in the profession. So make sure to communicate your ideas quickly and keep it straightforward to the point. Don't you all agree? I think for successful profession, one should be the direct communicator. Here, I want to add up one more thing. To have a peaceful life, family life, wife should practice the direct communication style. Jokes apart, we as a human being, we are a social creature. We want to have a harmonious family and a community life. Here, the communication plays the most important role in having a successful life. To be an effective communicator, we should be good listener, be honest, be patient, and develop a personal rapport with others. Make others feel important because we all have an innate desire to feel important, be appreciated, and be different. So please, with your polite words and behavior, help others to feel important. Always, always learn to develop a euphoric surrounding from the butterflies. So, dear Toastmasters, take the initiation to develop a direct rapport with others to be a better communicator and leader in your life. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Dr. Sheetal Agarwal, for the beautiful speech and piece of advice for all of us. Great.
Thank you.
Our last speaker for tonight is a Toastmaster full of energy and very lively. His leadership tenure, although short period, was literally a roller coaster for everyone with surprises. A man who always in the state of euphoria. He's a chemical engineer by profession and currently working as a process engineer manager in Dow Chemical Company. For him, butterfly is a symbol of patience and perseverance, which is inevitable from crawling stage to the flying stage. Please, let's welcome past President Toastmaster Anup. He will be delivering speech project from Pathways L3 and Speech 1. Toastmaster Abhilash will evaluate his speech. Toastmaster Abhilash, could you please read out the objectives?
Madam Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests, good evening to all of you.
Good evening.
Purpose of this speech is for the member to practice selecting and using a variety of visual aids during a speech. The speaker has informed me that there is a scenario where the speaker is giving a speech for final year chemical engineers about the role of chemical engineers in industries and what industry is expecting from these chemical engineers. Time of this speech is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. The title of his speech is Feeding the World. Feeding the World, Toastmaster Anup. Toastmaster Anup, the Zoom is yours. I mean, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Actually, I've taken the topic to be comfortable with visual aids. So the topic is role of chemical engineers in industries and what industry expects from engineers. So the scenario, as I said, I'll be giving this lecturing for the final year students. So first and foremost, let me welcome you all for selecting one of the finest engineering branches of engineering, that is chemical engineering. So before you go out next year, you'll be passing out from your college. So you should be aware of what are the roles of a chemical engineer in process industry and what industry really expect from you. So this is an objective of this speech. So fellow engineers, chemical engineer you have a bright career. Now you can have a career in oil and gas, a refinery, a petrochemical, specialty chemicals, fine chemicals, mining, nuclear, cosmetic industries, agroscience, material science. You can go for any type of industry. And again, for each industry, you have a variety of roles: production, process control, safety, energy, quality, personal safety, product design, research, plant design, equipment design. So you have plenty of roles and different industries. So the career of a chemical engineer is much vast. Now, basically, I am from process industry, so I'll be giving you a role of a chemical engineer in a process industry. So in a process industry, almost 80 to 90% of chemical engineers fall under only the 4 categories: a run plant operations, or technical service, or process design, or manufacturing representative. So 80 to 90% of chemical engineers fall under this category. Apart from that, they can be in analytical, they can be in process safety. So there are other much different fields are there. But I want to cover these 4 fields. So what you do as a run plant engineer, or we call operation engineer. So generally, they are responsible for running your plant safely. They are responsible for emergency response plans. And they are the person who has been operating your product, your plant on spec on quality. And they will also be doing some small troubleshootings if there is some off-specs or malfunctioning of equipment. And they are responsible for providing the turnarounds. So these are all major roles of a run plant engineer or an operation engineer, production engineer. So again, what will be the equipment? What will be the unit operations you will be involving? You will be involving in mass transfer operations, which means your distillation and absorption, your heat transfer operations, which is heat exchangers, cooling towers, fluid mechanics, your pumps and compressors, DCS, advanced process control. So these are all these fields: a run plant engineer or operation engineer or a production engineer. So all are same. So it's only then from industry the name will change. Run plant or operation or a production, all same, but they do this. These are their major job responsibilities. Then the second role is technical services. The technical services in some industries we call improvement engineering, and some industries they can call process engineering, but all so generally falls under the category called technical services. The technical services, a chemical engineer, he will be monitoring the performance of your equipment, performance of a pump, heat exchangers, or performance of your distillation columns. And if there is a major troubleshooting, he will be helping operations to do some troubleshooting. And if there is any process improvement, something is there, he is responsible to improve your product, to improve the qualities and production for process improvement ideas and activities, energy optimization. If they want to do some feasibility studies, they are the first person who will be doing it. Just want to give you some highlights. If the heat exchanger is not performing, they are the person who will be first doing this troubleshooting. when there is a pump in the running plan, when the pump is not giving a sufficient head or a flow, they will be doing all this troubleshooting. So again, I'm just giving you some examples what a technical service engineers generally do in the running plant. The distillation columns are consuming more steam, or the product quality is not meeting the new specifications. So these jobs are the typical jobs of a technical service engineer. In some industries, we call improvement engineering, and some industries they call process engineering, but all comes under the same category. Now, there is another important field, very important field. This is called as process design engineering. So they do plant design. Okay, so they are the foundation for the project execution. They do the P&AD, equipment design. So if there is any project is there, they are the workhorse of any project. So their major job is designing the plan. Again, when it comes to the process design, you cannot be one in one domain. Once you come under this process design engineering, you will fall either one of these categories. You have to be an expert in fluid mechanics or heat transfer or pressure production, process development, or process engineering fundamentals, or reaction engineering, process separation, solid processing. So this is called a specialized process design. Is a specialized job where you will be doing plant design. So another is the manufacturing representative. Again, manufacturing representatives are the main people who are responsible for project executions, for commissioning and startup, and handing over the operations. You should have a fundamental knowledge of operations, engineering, and maintenance. So this is called a manufacturing representative. So these are the major role a chemical engineer will be working in a process industry. Now, let me come to a point. When you go to an industry, what industry expects from students? You know, without understanding the basic chemical engineering fundamentals, that is one thing that it is necessary. But again, if you see in a process industry, we expect safety, number one, team player, willing to take challenges, stability, and communication. These are the four pillars we expect from any student going to the process industries. I've seen young engineers feeling euphoric when it comes to the plant. Working in a chemical plant is extremely dangerous if you do not follow process safety precautions. That is why I said safety is the first and foremost. In fact, chemical plants are full of potential hazards and could cause accidents and disasters if they are not treated properly. You need to respect. You need to know that you are working in a very dangerous environment. So you have to follow safety. Hazards may come in any forms: electrical, high temperature, high pressure, unsafe acts, working in the elevated area, all these things. So that is why the first and foremost thing, don't be euphoric when it comes to the plant. First and foremost thing, follow safety. Number two, we expect to be a good team player. In industries, one must work with different people coming with different backgrounds, different age groups, different mindset, and different levels, right? So you have to be a good team player. A good team player will forget his differences and work towards the common goal. A good team player encourages and participates in decision making. A good team player must be supportive and trustworthy. A good team player invites new ideas and feedback from other team members. So we expect a second important quality from young engineers. We expect to be a good team player. And number three, willing to take challenges. Do you think you can stay in a comfort zone and keep learning? It is absolutely impossible to learn in your comfort zone. So you have to, whenever you encounter a new type of challenge, it is almost always a chance to develop a new set of skills. Remember, that's why we request engineers to take challenges. The more the challenge you take, the more you learn. Taking challenges is an important part of growing and developing as a person. The more you can test your limits and capabilities. The more you test, the more you grow. So he has to have a mindset of willing to take challenges. Another important thing is stability. Every organization has unique culture. So we expect one has to work at least for 3 years to taste the flavor of organizational culture. So at least 3 years. If you don't stay for at least 3 years, you will not learn anything about the company. So I don't say that you need to be completely, you should stick to your company. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying, remember, change is important, but constant change is dangerous. So once you go to a good company, stay there for at least 3 years, minimum 3 years. Learn about the culture. That's how you learn different cultures. Learn, you take more opportunities. That's how we grow, right? So we need at least, remember, a rolling stone gathers no mark. But at the same time, change is important. So you need to have that stability when you go into an organization. Another core, this is a fundamental and core we expect in industry. And effective and clear communication is the cornerstone for success of individual, personal, and professional life. It's not only a professional life, even your personal life, that is the core, cornerstone for success. Using the right words and the right tone. Remember, not only right words and right tone is a crucial part of communication. For information to get through completely, it has to be communicated with right diction and pronunciation, and in the manner that a receiving party understands. Remember communication. So these 5 are the corner pillar we expect from engineers. And finally is your basic chemical engineering fundamentals. I believe, since you are from a great Arabian engineering college, I believe you are all have a great fundamentals of chemical engineering. But apart from that, I want every engineer to have these 5 qualities before you come into process industry. Over to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. That was a wonderful, explicit speech. Great. Here we are through with the prepared speeches. Toastmaster Prashant, can you please furnish the timer report, please?
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Good day. Okay. The total time taken by 4 speakers, namely, first TM Arun Vasan, 6.37 minute. Second speaker TM Sangeeta, 6 minute 44 second. Third speaker TM Sheetal Agrawal, 7 minute 10 second. And the fourth speaker TM Anup Paul is taken 12 minutes 16 seconds.
So thank you very much. Thank you very much, Prashant, Toastmaster Prashant. I guess all the except what about Sangeeta? It is 5 to 7, isn't it?
Yeah. All the 3 speakers are qualified. The fourth one, TM Anup Paul, he could not qualify.
So I request all the members and guests to cast their votes to select the best speaker. Toastmaster Vasanti, please launch the poll.
Yes, Toastmasters, I am launching the poll. Yes.
Toastmaster Day.
Cast your vote, please, dear Toastmasters. Yes.
Toastmaster of Day Island.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, before going to break, I would like to choose 5 speakers from the audience for table topic speaker.
Sorry to interrupt, only 2 more seconds to poll. I'm closing the poll.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm ending the poll.
Thank you.
Before going to break, I would like to select 4 to 5 was speakers from the audience. Kindly acknowledge your presence when your name is called. Toastmaster Rahul.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Toastmaster Arul Shankar.
Yes, good evening.
DTM Suresh.
Hey, good evening.
And Toastmaster Vijay. Toastmaster Vijay. Toastmaster Ajit.
Yes, good evening.
Yes, good evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Toastmaster Ravindra, thanks a lot. Dear fellow Toastmasters, we'll have a short and sweet break. Stay tuned. Thank you.
I have a small doubt. Only 4 speakers or 5 speakers for the table topic? Can you please clarify?
4 speakers.
4 speakers, okay. So I will just read out the names. Please confirm, sir.
You put, Toastmaster Ravindra, you put in the chat box so that it will be clear for everyone, for her too.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Just type in the chat box for everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The informal meeting starts.
Yes,
But,
not the informal. It's a time for informal meeting.
TD Master, you said 5 names totally.
4 names.
4 names?
You can call
Vijay.
Toastmaster Ajit
Yeah,
also.
Toastmaster Vijay, actually, he is our counter for today. I think we cannot take him. Yeah.
So you can.
I heard 5 names.
The Toastmaster Ravish can be in.
Yes, Ravish is there. Milan is there.
The Milan is evaluator.
Evaluator.
Yeah.
Ravish is, I think he is busy somewhere.
See, yeah, Ravindra, I am also an evaluator. Can you avoid me?
There is only 3. Then only 3.
Toastmaster Ravindra, I just made myself available. I just cleared my personal stuff. Yeah, I'm available now.
Okay. So I'm including
Really,
my
we should
name.
avoid the evaluators, Rabi.
Okay. So Toastmaster Rahul, DTM Suresh, and Toastmaster Arul Shankar, and Toastmaster Ravish.
Yes.
Perfect.
These 4 speakers are confirmed, right? Sorry to interrupt again. Yes.
I'm writing.
He's writing in the chat. Toastmaster Ajit Kumar, how are you, sir?
Hey, good, great.
Hi, Ajit.
How are you, Doctor?
Yes, good.
Hi, Suresh and Dr. Shantareka. So nice
How are you,
to see you all.
Good to see you all, sir.
Good to see you too.
Uday, how are you doing?
Fine. Toastmaster Yasin, how are you?
Fine, all good. How are you, Toastmaster Ajit Kumar? Fine?
Great. Living on, man. Living on. Edge of the world.
Edge of the world?
No, you're God's own country. He's living in God's own country.
Toastmaster Ajit, how are you doing?
How's the weather? How's the weather over there? It's raining? Is it raining over there or what?
It rains outside and it rains inside also, I feel sometimes, because it's so hot and humid. The sweat, it's a feeling of wetness all over. It's hot and humid.
Humid even now, huh? Oh my God.
Yeah, it's humid because it's, sometimes you get a drizzle out here. It's a monsoon season also, no? Still, the monsoon is on. Northeast monsoon is on.
Oh, okay.
So,
Arun,
you
how
get
are
a lot
you?
of humidity.
I'm doing good, boss. How are you? I wanted to ask Sangeeta how is she doing post all your experience.
I am okay. I don't have sensation in a bit of part of my thigh, but
So it was a very serious affair, no?
Is he, huh?
yeah, it was a serious affair. I wasn't able to walk for close to 2 months.
My goodness.
Because it covers the entire left thigh.
Oh.
So I was
Still have not figured out what was the cause, why it happened.
I mean, the pot was kind of like a curved one. I've been doing the same task for like past 8 months, but then somehow that day, as I said, fate wanted to teach me some leadership skills. So it just tipped over. I've been doing it for
Oh,
quite a long while.
but that bucket is always, that problem is there. That risk is always there in that bucket.
Like
Yes, you never
Anup just said,
you never know when it will drop.
assess your risk and mitigate it properly.
Oh, hello,
Toastmaster Anup, good to see you.
No JSA conductors.
Any news on vaccine? Anyone has got some good news, or any news on our travel plan?
Yeah, travel plan. Actually, they're planning to start that bubble flight very soon, but then no idea. Soon, we don't know what is the term soon really means.
Yeah, I saw some when embassy officials met the civil aviation authorities and all, they were saying from Saudi. Indian embassy officials met them and requested them to start the operations to India, direct flights to India. And they assured them that it will start soon. Soon means, what is the definition of soon? We don't know.
Soon, we don't know. Maybe 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, anything soon. We have to be optimistic word.
I'm losing patience.
Yeah, you're in India?
No, I wish. I miss Diwali after so many years. Age is.
Oh, come on. You're in Saudi Arabia, you should be happy, you know.
Yeah, I force
What
myself.
about the people who came here and got stuck for almost a
No,
year?
some of
without a
them,
job?
like, people are returning. At least that Dubai option is good.
I
close
heard that
friend,
Dubai option got suspended for the time being. I'm not so sure about that. Dubai option
Yes.
still open?
I didn't know that. Really?
It's suspended as of now, right?
Is it
I
suspended?
heard somebody was telling like
My friends
No reason.
in NSH, they came back after 7 months from Kerala. Very happy.
Yeah,
They
I
came
have a
last
couple of
week. They
friends
came last week.
Yeah.
still in Dubai on the transit, you know.
Master is to make
My colleagues came last week, actually. I'm not sure. They came to Dubai only.
Conditions.
and have selected a
Not everyone can come.
Yeah, you need some special permission or your company calls.
Your
Then only-
need should be genuine.
Right, true.
How do you say what is genuine?
Like you should be employed, not that you come here for some fun or something. Like
No,
it is
fun cannot come. You must be a resident holder, visa holder.
So those people are there able to come. Like 7 people in NSH, they were able to come.
No, it's only open for Saudi residents.
Yeah, resident holders, yes.
Yeah, it cannot come. Visitors cannot come.
Visitors, no. That's what I was saying.
Prisoners or visitors cannot come.
Yeah. Ikama holders can come, provided
Exactly.
the employers are being asked, actually. That's what I've been hearing. My colleagues were mentioning on there is some letter they've been asking from the employer side as well. That's
yeah,
not,
but I heard, I'm
official
not so
information.
sure, but I heard that there was a temporary suspension of that of Dubai route. Just I'm not so sure about it, but I'm
That was a few almost a month ago when because the Air India flight brought in somebody with positive COVID, and that was why they suspended for a while, and it was resumed again.
Okay.
Modi, you have been asked by President to start.
Sorry for the interruption. Yes.
We can start?
Yeah.
Break it up to 8:15. Yeah.
Yes.
Modi was involved in an animated discussion. She forgot about what her role looks like.
Okay, then
I forgot last week.
I was just messaging to our president. So then immediately I think respond, right? Now welcome back all of you from the short sweet break. So let's enter the most exciting and enriching segment of the evening, that is table topic segment. To conduct this, we have a person who is very silent yet very dedicated and committed person I have ever seen. Whenever any role is assigned to him, he ensures to perform to perfection. He is currently working as engineer in Hadith for past 12 years. He is BTech in metallurgy. He is fond of traveling, playing cricket and swimming. His views on butterfly is to work hard and have determination in life as butterfly comprise. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Ravindra to conduct table topic session.
Thank you for the great introduction, Toastmaster Day. Just one correction about me. My total experience is 12 years, but I was working since 6 years in the Hadith. Thank you. Today, my role as table topic master is to make this impromptu speaking an exciting one. I have selected 4 speakers from the audience and will be requesting the speaker to speak on the topic for 1 to 2 minutes. Timing card will be shown by the timer as explained to you earlier. Dear speakers, kindly acknowledge your presence when your name is called and pin the timer window. Toastmaster Rahul.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Your topic is it more important to do what you love or to love what you are doing? I repeat, is it more important to do what you love or to love what you are doing?
Thank you, table topic master. Good evening, all.
Good evening.
Just day before yesterday, we celebrated the festival of Diwali. It was full of colorful lights and firecrackers, enjoyment and happiness. After the celebration, the first day at office, it was still a festive time. We greeted all the other colleagues and had a very good time at office. But the next day, when I reached office, I got a shocking news. One of our colleagues who was working very fit, fine, and healthy had passed away that night. It was a shocking moment for all of us, difficult to digest. When we tried to find out more details, it came out that this person was in a bit of stress, maybe due to some family reasons or some other personal reasons which he did not reveal. He was working here in Saudi all by on his own, close to retirement age, away from his family. He was sitting on a big pile of money. While thinking all about this, I thought, did he really love to stay here, away from his family? Or did he wanted to stay away, with his family back home and retire from his job? Was he doing what he loved, or was he trying to love what he did? And then it was a moment of realization that we should always do what we love, and the success will come along all the way. Fellow Toastmasters, I will go by doing what I love, and success is by natural to come. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rahul. Second speaker is Toastmaster Arul Shankar. Do you believe kids should have celebrity role models? What happens if they do something that does something wrong? I repeat, do you believe kids should have celebrity role models? What happens if they do something that does something wrong?
Thank you, Toastmaster Rabindra. Yeah, I feel children should have celebrity role models. Okay, for example, when I was a child, I had my father as my celebrity model. Okay, first of all, like my father was a farmer, a hard worker, and a caring man, like for his family and his neighbors. So when I have my father as a celebrity like whatever mistakes he does, it's a learning for him and for me. So when we have celebrity models, celebrity as our role models, we can follow them in the right path. And if they are doing some mistakes, that can be a learning lesson for us so that we don't repeat the same mistake. So we know, like, by doing a mistake, in which difficulty they are in, what are the problems faced by them, that we can learn from the mistakes done by the celebrities. And yeah, to conclude, I strongly feel that our children should have celebrities as a role model, and we parents can guide them in selecting the celebrity, like depending on from our experience. Thank you. Over to Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arul. Today's third speaker is DTM Suresh. Topic is every generation complains about the previous generation. That is music, attitude, movie, lifestyles is bad. What do you complain about the previous generation and why? I repeat, every generation complains about the previous generation. That is music, attitude, movies, lifestyle is bad. What do you complain about the previous generation and why?
Every generation feels that the previous generation was doing something wrong or didn't have something that we had today, or we live the best life that the life that we live is better than the previous generation. I too am no exception. Every generation feels that what they are doing or living is always perfect. Now, what is it that our generation has and the previous generation did not have? In my opinion, they did not have two things. One was the ability to travel the way we do today, and the ability to communicate the way we do today. These two things, if I had to complain about, is these two things were actually slowing down the progress of the nation and mankind that the previous generation were unable to do. And this is what I'd like to complain today about, what the previous generation did not have. Today, the world is like a global village. Sitting in India, Toastmaster Ajit is able to connect with us on the same platform and enjoy the company of all the 30 or 20 odd people who are sitting here. This was not possible in the previous generation. Why previous generation? 20 years ago, when I came to Saudi Arabia, I used to stand in the queue for 1 hour to be able to call my home. And also the ability to travel. Air travel was almost impossible for a normal person. Air travel was a rare privilege of very few elite people of the elite class. So that were actually preventing people from traveling and understanding each other. Today, our generation, the communication abilities and the ability to travel and meet and interact with one another has made this world a far better a place where people understand each other, a people where humankind and mankind has become one, despite all the difference and dissimilarities that exist in this world. The harmony has been able to build harmony and peace among the whole world today because of just these two factors. That's something which I like to complain about. And these two factors have actually helped us to unify and unite the world into one single globe, as one people, as one community, as one global village. And that's what is making this world so beautiful, which was not the case in the generation of my parents, the previous generation. Toastmaster Day. Table Topic Master.
Thank you, DTM Suresh. My last speaker is Toastmaster Ravish. Topic is, what is the definition of success to you? I repeat, what is definition of success to you?
Am I audible?
Yes.
Let me ping the timer first.
Sorry?
Yeah, I'm just pinging the timer first. Yeah, sure. I'll ping the timer. Thank you, Toastmaster Rabindra. The topic, what is the definition of success to you?
Yes.
Yes, the success can be defined in various factors. Success maybe some personal accomplishment of the professional. But for me, what I define, yes, that what I achieve what I always desired to do or always I worked hard to do. Anything related to, whether be it personal or professional. Like to give an example, when I was planning, okay, I need to improve my communication skills or do, I always thought of where to go, who will be my mentor or my leader who I can take a guidance from. And after consulting, I found, yes, a club to join where I can fulfill my dreams. And getting a member of this club, I feel, yes, I found some success in doing that. And yes, I'm personifying it the better. Coming to the professional fronts, I also dreamed to get elevated to a position where I always dreamt of getting to a senior manager. Yes, it requires a lot of hard work, a lot of commitment, and upgradation in the skills, also some degrees. I made my plan and I started working on that. And for the 1 year, when I completed my certification courses and through my performance ratings, yeah, I was recently elevated to a senior positions. So definitely, I feel and I personify it. If a definition of success is this, what you achieve, what you strive to get for always. Over to tabletop master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ravish. I hope you have enjoyed this session. Over to you, Toastmaster Uday.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ravindra. That was an excellent euphoric session, butterflies in stomach, literally. Now I request timers report, please.
You're on mute, Toastmaster Prashant.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. I would present the time taken by 4 of the fellow speakers. The first speaker, Toastmaster Rahul Agrawal, taken 2 minutes 25 seconds. Second speaker, Toastmaster Arul Shankar, 1 minute 47 seconds. Third speaker, DTM Suresh Kumar, 2 minutes 13 seconds. And fourth speaker, Toastmaster Ravish Malpani, 1 minute 44 seconds. All 4 speakers are said to be qualified. Over
Thank
to
you.
today.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Prashant, for this beautiful, excellent report. Now I request the Zoom Master and vote counter, Toastmaster Vasanti, to launch the poll.
Yes, good evening again. Yes, I'm launching the poll.
Yes.
Yes, I have launched. We have 30 seconds. Please, dear Toastmasters, vote for the best speaker. Table topic speaker. Ten more seconds.
Thank you.
3, 2, 1. Yes, that's the end.
Thank you.
Over
Thanks
to
a
you.
lot.
Yes.
Yeah. That, dear fellow Toastmasters, now we'll be entering into evaluation session. For this evaluation segment, we have a very wonderful, dynamic, simple human with high thinking, Toastmaster Uday Kumar. He is working as staff engineer with process safety division in Saudi Phillips Chemical Company, blessed with 2 kids and of course with only one wife. 2 things immediately come to his mind about butterfly. One is transformation and second, table topics. So Toastmaster Uday Kumar, over to you.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. I was filled with euphoria with that high elating introduction. Good evening, fellow Arabians, and a warm welcome to our guest, one and only guest. For the benefit of our guest, I'm the general evaluator today, and I conduct the evaluation portion of our meeting. I'll be calling on a team to assist me with giving feedback to our speakers and evaluate the meeting as well at the end of the session. I would like to start the evaluation session as of now with calling the first evaluator. He's a chemical engineer by profession and have master's degree in petroleum management, working with Sadara Chemical as senior project engineer. About the theme of the day, butterfly, he told that apart from work, I spend most of the time with my wife to nurture the two butterflies, his two daughters. Fantastic narration of the theme, nurturing the real nectar, love to his family. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Nilesh Verma to evaluate the speech given by Toastmaster Arun Vasan. I request the evaluator and all the evaluators to pin the timer before giving the evaluation. Over to you, Toastmaster Nilesh.
Yeah, thank you, Uday. Am I audible and visible?
Yes,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, clear.
Good evening, General Evaluator, and my fellow butterflies, particularly TM Arun. I was flooded with euphoria when came to know that I have been offered role of evaluator and speaker is TM Arun. First of all, let me congratulate TM Arun for his successful attempt. About speech, let me start with the title. It's hooked us, right, ladies and gentlemen? The title, no, something are best left unsaid. So we were really wondering, so what's going to be those something, no? But you make a twist and start talking about body language, gesture, and all those things. So yeah, it's in line with the title, and that really hooked us. And the start of the speech is really very nice. You pick up very well. Again, where you excelled. No, like I was going through your last evaluation feedback, and that the purpose of this speech. And you very well attempted all those things, and whatever the suggestion given to you. So we can see that hard work. No, you implemented very well. The point given to you were like focus on topic, don't deviate from the topic, and don't move much here and there. No, it's a new environment, like we have virtual meetings. So last time you were going up and down on the screen and all those things. So yeah, you very well address all those suggestions given by last evaluator. Again, coming to the content of the speech, a structure like body, like from the title, startup, introduction, body, conclusion, everything fine, fantastic. Very informative speech also, very informative speech. But I would like to give some humble opinion to elevate your speech to the next level. I think what you have to work is that's the delivery part of the speech. Vocal variety. Just one example, you were talking about your experience about communication, or say miscommunication with in college, or junior, senior batches were there, and then you explain all those things, but you were very flat. You were very flat. You can create like some, like there is miscommunication, some confusion, so you just raise the noise and like create same scenario and how this happened, and then again cool down and like that. But that was missing. That was the missing. Just one example, the vocal variety. And second part, you were not looking to the camera many times, more than 50% of the speech. So I think that's distract, at least to me. I'm sure my other butterflies also notice the same thing. So if you just look into camera, play with this camera, so like it will be more better than that. Ultimately, good attempt, nice speech. Just work on the delivery part. Thank you. Over to you, evaluator.
Thank you.
Wow, it was a wonderful, euphoric evaluation. All the butterflies agreed to. Hope Toastmaster Arun Vasan got benefited from the evaluation. The second evaluator tonight is a humble person, highly soft-spoken, a marketing professional working for industrial solvent factory or past area director. About the theme of the day, he mentioned, I believe butterflies are the real adapters to the changing environment. Yes, sir, truly. It's a complete transformation. Help me welcome Toastmaster Ashik, evaluate for the speech given by Toastmaster Sangeeta. Toastmaster Ashik.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for the wonderful introduction. And good evening, Toastmasters. And special good evening to our speaker, Toastmaster Sangeeta, for wonderfully completing the project. And I'll congratulate her for identifying her leadership style as critical thinking style. Let me go into the detail how she conveyed the message during her speech. The first which I liked about her speech is she started the opening of a speech with a specific time, including the time, date, and the total in minute detail. That is to grab the attention of the audience. Then she gone into an elaborating an incident in a very vivid manner. For example, even she has gone and explained the tragedy which has happened to her in micro detail. That is great, so that we can imagine such a pain she has gone through, and a tragedy she has gone through in her life. And the third thing which I most like in her speech is all in total, like a compass into a story with a proper transition in each stages to come before she comes to identify a skill. All in all, as Toastmasters, we always look for better improvement. But what I thought is one thing which is missing, which can be added, which will enhance to meet the of this particular speech project more enlightening. With if she can make a small changes as a recommendation in a structure, where she can bring about a situation where a leadership style she identifies a critical style at the moment, and with that with the presence of mind she can solve the problem. If she can move to a aspiring style, she can tell, and with the recommendation in her speech in a conclusion part, that will give a real added value to this particular project. All in all, Toastmaster Sangeeta, you have done a great job. And with your descriptive language, the way you are confident in your speech and highlighting all the in a story format, with this the minor changes in the structure, with the transition, how from one leadership style she moved to another leadership style, where or in the same leadership with a certain components like what are the improvement which she can highlight, that definitely make to be a great speaker. With that, congratulations for our future project. With that, over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashik, for that caring and crisp evaluation. Hope Toastmaster Sangeeta got benefited from the evaluation. The next evaluator tonight is another charming person, a shining star, a humorous champion, pillar of Arabian, one of the finest mentor, a seasoned distinguished Toastmaster, and a humble, down-to-earth person. He's enjoying his time with God's own country, Kerala, with high greeneries. About the theme of the day, he mentioned, when it comes to butterflies, we must harvest them in our gardens and not in our stomachs. Because the humor is there. When they are in gardens, they can give a new meaning to the beautiful flowers. Again, a real sense of humor with a real sense of inner meaning. Please help me welcome DTM Ajit Kumar to evaluate the speech given by Toastmaster Sheetal Agrawal.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good evening for Toastmasters and guests, Arabian Toastmasters Club, and in particular to Madam Toastmaster Sheetal Agrawal for presenting such a very interesting project on your predominant styles of communication through a very interesting example as well. So let me just look at how you presented it. So you demonstrated primarily through your example that the initiating style was the most effective one. And you said that initiating style complemented with a personal rapport could be a very effective means of getting the result of your communication. And you went on to say that you went on to demonstrate that with your example at that next supermarket, and you initiated a communication with a stranger, and that to a Saudi Arabian gentleman. And I think you're not only being initiating, you should be pretty bold also that way. But then you said that how your a lack of not being direct in a professional life has impacted one of your customers during your professional life as a dentist. And you also came out with the example of the kind of interaction which you had with your customer, the unpleasant interactions which you have with customer. And you said that it's very important for people to be direct in your professional life. Now, analyzing your speech, well, you were very fluent, you're convincing, you're articulate, and you were glowing as a butterfly, euphoric and forceful. But nevertheless, this project is to primarily identify that style of communication that impacts you, and you have that profound ability to influence others using that style. And that indeed is initiating. Initiating style is that which you demonstrated has the maximum impact, and in fact, not being direct had influence, had certain impact in your professional life. So there were two styles which you mentioned. Probably, in my opinion, that in this project, you should have that predominant style of yours that is most influential in your case is initiating style, which you should reiterate during your conclusion, saying that using my initiating style, I was successful. And you used that complementary part of it, that personal rapport, to, like an icing on the cake, to be more effective in your communication, which is not a predominant style of communication. It's a kind of an add-on to the style of a communication. You can be you can use your personal rapport in your direct communication as well. That's what you said, and also a personal rapport in your initiating style as well. And you said the initiating style as well is the one which was most successful in your case. So in my opinion is that you must conclude that in your speech that initiating style of communication is the most impactful in my case, and that I identify as my strength. Then another thing is that during your narration, you have a tendency to engage the audience using say, don't you agree? Now, when you say, don't you agree? And you naturally anticipate an answer. In a normal meeting, it's possible, but in the case of a virtual meeting, it's not possible. So you pause there, and which becomes a little bit of distraction to your presentation. So do not wait for any answer. In case of a virtual meeting, you assume that there is an answer. That's all. You move on without that. That will affect your fluency. And the third point is that in the styles which you're mentioning, you are also talking about the supportive style as well as the analytical style. And if you had an opportunity to experiment with those styles and the effect that you had on them, could have added on an impact on these presentations of your project's presentation. Otherwise, you have wonderfully demonstrated your strength through your personal example. And that's why I must say that you have achieved all the objectives of this speech project. Thank you, and wishing you all the best in your future projects as well.
Thank you, Didier Majid, for that convivial and euphoric evaluation. Hope Toastmaster Sheetal got benefited from that evaluation. The next evaluator tonight is yet another charming person. I personally call him as youth leader, the hero of Arabian Youth Star, fitness freak person, a loyal and a dedicated member to Toastmasters fraternity. About the theme of the day, he mentioned, normally people talk about struggling initial stage of a butterfly and a beautiful outcome later. According to me, apart from struggling under cocoon, butterflies work very hard to ensure their survival, and also it passes what it learned to a new offspring through genes, and thus new beautiful patterns are born. Similarly, life will always challenge you in different ways and consist of hard work learning which only helps you to achieve your goal. Highly motivating and inspiring words indeed. Please help me welcome the superstar and the hero of Arabian Toastmaster Club, Toastmaster Abhilash, to evaluate the speech given by Toastmaster Anup Pal Ilyas. Toastmaster Abhilash.
Thank you. Thank you, General Evaluator. It was a big motivation and I reached the sky. Thank you. I felt like having a bison. Already I felt after hearing Toastmaster Anup Ilyas' speech too. What a powerful speech by Toastmaster Anup Ilyas Paul on chemical engineers, their profession, and what the industry is expecting from chemical engineers. Congratulations, Toastmaster Anup, for successfully completing your speech project with all the requirements of that speech project. The speech, are you hearing me? Hello?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay. Yes, okay. The speech, what you have explained about the chemical engineers and their role in the industry and what industry expects from the chemical engineers, we felt like the chemical engineers are doing all the job in the industry, starting from the design and to the taking care. And that is the positive thing of your speech, because the influence you are making with your presentation and the speech along with it is carrying us to believe like that. So that is the positive aspect of your presentation. That is what I meant. And the energy which you deliver with each speech, always, that is the energy which is passing to us, even if it is in this online platform that is working still. So that are all the good aspects of your speech. Being said that, the improvements you can be incorporated in the upcoming speech, or what are the better ways of doing the same projects, if I suggest. The topic is now narrowed to only the chemical engineers. If you would have changed it to little global way, what are the upcoming job opportunities of in general, all the engineers or technocrats in the changing world, something like that, which will be more appealing to an audience like us or Toastmasters. That will be, instead of narrowing down to the chemical engineers only. And also the visual aids which you have presented, I suggest to have different type. That is what the speech demands. Different type of or variety of visual aids. Even if in the presentation we are running as one presentation, you can incorporate different techniques of presentation by bringing in the words, slides, and the words were so tiny so that we cannot read, and there were too much of information in single slide. We cannot read all those information. So if you are filtering some information and give priority to the relevant ones and make it in a big way, attractive way with different styles of, that is all what the speech objective says. So these things you can incorporate so that it will be more attractive as a presentation level, and the speech will be more appealing to a wider range of audience. Otherwise, as usual, you are always a lion when you come to speech, and at times you can be like a butterfly to improve your speech modulation. Otherwise, it's wonderful. We are looking forward to another speech projects, upcoming speech projects of you, Toastmaster Anup. All the very best. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhilash, for that wonderful and fabulous evaluation. Hope line Toastmaster Anup benefited from that evaluation. I'd like to call the table topic evaluator. He's working in SIPChem as a control system engineer. He was a past VPPR for Arabian Toastmaster Club. His interests are farming, cricket, and tennis. His thoughts on butterflies. Butterflies are interesting and beautiful creatures. Watching butterfly is a joy. It also inspires for transforming into a beautiful life by changing from caterpillar to butterfly. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Milan, the table topic evaluator, to evaluate all the table topic speakers. Toastmaster Milan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Uday, for that wonderful introduction. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today I'll be evaluating the table topics session. Thank you, Toastmaster Ravindra, for those wonderful topics. The table topics is an interesting session. Normally, I get butterflies in stomach when I'm attempting table topics. Today all speakers were very well attempted. Our first speaker, Toastmaster Rahul, is a charismatic speaker and a great story narrator. What I liked the most in his speech is he formed the story and he kept the suspense till the end. It's a very good storytelling skill. My recommendation for his table topic is he kept the answer till last, and he compared with other story. He could have used his own story to make it more more weightage. And our second speaker was Toastmaster Arul Shankar. He rightly answered immediately. He attempted very well. He immediately answered the question. What I like the most in Toastmaster Arul's speech is he correlated the stories with his parents. He compared celebrity as his parents, and he also explained what is the how it has impacted in his life. And my advice, one recommendation for Toastmaster Arul is, there were two part of question, and the second question was why it was missing. And I think if we listen normally, as I said, butterflies will stop listening, and please concentrate on that. And our third speaker is Toastmaster Suresh, and the question was like, it's a big question. I did not get completely like complaints of previous generation. What do you complain about previous generation and why? And Toastmaster Suresh rightly attempted, like hitting the nail on the head in one shot. But like I think instead of complaints, he told the positives. He told good positives like air travel and also examples of digital platform, benefits of digital platform. Overall, it was a well attempt, very good attempt, but the answer was, instead of complaint, it was positives. Our last speaker was Toastmaster Ravish. Toastmaster Ravish also attempted very well. He gave an example of Toastmasters, how the success, how he got success through his hard work, and about the recommendation, like when he answered with 2 points. Like first impression was like he answered with the 2 stands, like various factors. Instead of that one, please stick to one, either like this side or other side. And also you could have explained like how how the success, the process of the success, like to process to reach the success. That's it. And there were 4 speakers. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Milan, for the detailed evaluation. We witnessed real butterflies flying around. Of course. Thank you, evaluators. I got able to see some fresh evaluators are able to compete very well with the seasoned evaluators. I truly appreciate the efforts done by all. Next, we will hear from the grammarian and the word master, Toastmaster Yasin, who is listening for a good usage of the languages as well as some points for improvement. Toastmaster Yasin, you may please give your report as a grammarian.
Thank you, Toastmaster Uday. I have noted the 3 use of the word of the day, euphoria. None of them was belonging to the speakers. It's obviously because I missed to explain it on time. Overall, I observed very good use of the language, except some minor observations. at presentation level. So it's better to be in presentation level. Okay, it is still working instead of it's working still. Look into the camera. So it's better to use look at the camera or look to the camera. When it comes instead of when it come, either to be used with or, not with the and, either. Small troubleshooting, it might be better to use simple troubleshooting. No style is best. It might be more appropriate, not, and he explains instead of he explain. All to you, Toastmaster Uday.
Thank you, Toastmaster Yasin, for the detailed evaluation as a grammarian wordmaster. The R counter tracks the use of verbal passes, those R's and ums that come from our mouth, which we think and the next thing to say. These verbal passes detract from a message and we stop counting at 5. Our R counter is DTM Vijay Kumar. DTM Vijay, could you please share the report?
General Evaluator for Toastmasters and guests, good evening. My account report is as follows. Toastmaster Shanti, 3 ums, 1 but. Toastmaster Uday Kumar, 1 Toastmaster Yasin, 5 ums. Toastmaster Prashant, I couldn't find anything. Toastmaster Vasanti, 1 repetition of words. Toastmaster Nilesh had 3 R's, 2 ums, 4 so's, 5 likes, and about 10 no's. Toastmaster Arun Vasan had 1 R. He had about 8 ums and 2 ers. Toastmaster Ashik, 4 R's, 6 ums. Toastmaster Sangeeta, I couldn't find anything. DTM Ajit, 3 R's, 1 Toastmaster Sheetal, 1 1 so, and 4 repetition of words. Toastmaster Abhilash, I couldn't find much. Toastmaster Anup, 1 R, 4 ums, 3 so's, and 2 repetition of words. Toastmaster Rabindra, I couldn't find much. Toastmaster Milan, you had about 7 R's, 9 ums, 3 likes, 4 or 5 repetition of words. Toastmaster Arul had 1 ums, 1 so, 5 likes, and about 2 repetition of words. Toastmaster Rahul, not much. Toastmaster Ravish, 2 R's, 2 ums, and DTM Suresh, 1 Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, DTM Vijay, for the detailed report. It is important to get your message across in allowed time and for the meeting to run according to the schedule on the evaluation session. Could you please provide the timers report on the evaluators? Master Prashant.
Unmute yourself, Toastmaster.
Toastmaster Prashant, please unmute.
Thank you, Toastmaster Uday Kumar. First, I would give the statistics of the timing taken by 4 evaluators for the planned speeches. First, Toastmaster Nilesh Verma took 3 minutes 28 seconds. Second evaluator, Toastmaster Ashik, 2 minutes 47 seconds. Third evaluator, Toastmaster Ajit Kumar, 4 minutes 35 seconds. And fourth evaluator, Toastmaster Abhilash Rajashekharan, 3 minutes 25 seconds. Toastmaster table topic evaluator, Toastmaster Milan Dev, he took 4 minutes 3 seconds.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prashant. We are well with the time also. I hope with the meeting, everything is going fine with the timing. I hope all are being qualified, isn't it? Toastmaster Prashant?
No.
Toastmaster Ajit Kumar and Toastmaster Milan Dev, they exceeded the timing.
They exceeded the timing. Okay, Toastmaster Vasanti, the Zoom master. Please cast the vote keeping the best evaluator.
Please give me a minute, sir, so that I can edit the names. By the time, can you please proceed with something?
Yeah, I'll be proceeding with the report.
Thank you.
I have few moments on the meeting as a whole. There were plenty of strength I could able to mention on. The meeting was started on time. Zoom master preparation was on time. The polling was done perfect and said to be done, of course, but it wasn't done on time. All speakers and evaluators were feeling motivated, highly motivated, you can say. Toastmaster of the day preside with sincerity and with energy and explain well on the theme of the day. There were no last minute changes and a few changes being happened, but it is not highly noticeable. The introductions were appropriate and engaging. The agenda was circulated well in advance in WhatsApp as well as in the Gmail. More than the president and the Toastmaster of the day, the Zoom master was welcoming everyone. And she was saying the Diwali wishes to everyone, and it keeps the Arabian family tied up, of course. First time role players, I could able to see several people, especially the timer was exceptional. Even though the timer was not explaining during the introduction session about the different cards, but he could able to explain and go through the meeting hassle-free. Some of the scope for improvement, which I feel like growth points, it's my humble opinion, Toastmasters. The word of the day was utilized seldom, but the word of the day, the meeting was introduced later. Euphoria was a word of the day, and I could able to see none of the speakers were attempting the word of the day, and only the evaluators and others were been using it. A general observation could be a flyer can be just posted upon the club WhatsApp group so that it will be better that the people can use it earlier, or a presentation with the virtual background can be having at the back end so that everybody can see around the grammarian, they will remember it. What's the word of the day? This is a general suggestion I could able to see because the meeting will be more vivid if you go into that type of one. The same could be for the agenda also for the Toastmaster of the day. Can have the agenda as a virtual background. It could be better for all the participants to look into the agenda who will be coming next. Some of the speakers were using the screen while giving speeches for reading some quotes, which can be avoided. The speakers can stand and give the speeches too. They've been sitting and they were delivering the speech. So I could able to see that if a person can stand and give the speech, to be more better. We'll be having book introduction. Of course, we've been not having the book introduction as a separate agenda being in this meeting, but anyway, if could have been added, it could be better even. We're not running out of time, I think so. A general suggestion is the table topic master, the topics were highly encouraging, challenging, and entertaining. But if the table topics might have clearly read out, it will be helping the speakers to get in touch. I could able to see some of the speakers, table topic speakers were going in and out with the speeches, and the pronunciation could have been much better with little pauses at the table topic speaker. The speech evaluation were upbeat and encouraging. I could able to see the speakers and the evaluators were competing each other, of course. I see some speech evaluators were very polished. I encourage to make a honest effort to make spade to spade evaluation and not by hurting anyone. I see the speakers are doing it and the evaluators are doing it also. I see some more honest evaluation need to be required. The meeting went well. Some of the humors were missing around. More than the actual education session, we could able to see the informal session as a break. Everyone allowed to be there, and of course we crack our own jokes and enjoy those little hour, small minutes. Some presentation were too technical, I could able to see, which created some boring in the education session. This can be avoided. We have a mix of people around, which will be helping with the audience as in total. If we have some presentation or some speeches, which will be better for all the audience around. A general note that please pin the timer. I could able to see some of the speakers and the evaluators were overshooting the time, and the contest has been approaching as an general. So it's better that all the speakers and evaluators need to have keeping the timer in mind. There were plenty of new vocabulary words, and I could able to see for PR, it was public relation. I was thinking about a personal rapper came in, and silence is not a golden words always. And I could able to see 7%, 38%, 55% were highly been helpful. I hope all the points what I mentioned on, which I've gone very fast with rushing away, will definitely helpful for all the speakers and the evaluators. It's my humble opinion. And over to you, Zoom Master. Could you please cast the vote for the best?
I'm ready, sir. I'm launching the poll for the best evaluator. Please cast your vote, dear Arabians.
It's not coming up.
Yeah, it came and went off.
Came and went off. And
Is it? Again,
Yeah.
1 minute. I'm relaunching it. 1 minute.
okay. And I request Toastmaster Vasanthi to have the best role player also before I hand it over to the
Yes, it's ready. The best role player is already ready.
Also ready. Please have the best evaluator voted. Then you can just cast a vote for the best role player also.
Yes, 10 more seconds to vote. Yes. 3, 2, 1. Thank you, dear Arabians. End the poll.
You can have the.
Yes, give me a minute, sir, please.
Okay. Can I hand it
Yes,
over?
here I am. Oh,
okay,
sorry.
please. Go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead. Go
I'm
ahead. Go ahead,
launching
please.
poll for the best role player. Please, Arabians, cast your vote for the best role player.
Dear members, please cast your vote for the best role player for today's meeting. And that concludes the general evaluation segment on my side. I welcome the Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster
Thank you.
3, 2, 1. Ending the poll. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Uday, for the nicely conducted evaluation session. I'm sure all the speakers and the club leaders and evaluators were benefited by your evaluations. Please give him and his fabulous team of evaluators a thunderous round of applause. Now I request the Zoom Master and vote counter Toastmaster Vasanthi to declare the winners, and I request the President to recognize the winners.
Yes. Yeah, here I am. I'm sharing the screen of. Give me a minute so that if you can please carry on.
No problem. No problem. No problem.
Thank you.
Toastmaster Vasanthi, can I carry on with my other things and or well wait for you?
Toastmaster of the day, you can
please,
proceed.
Please proceed because I'm in unmute. Please
Sure,
proceed
sure,
now.
no
Give me a minute.
No problem. Fellow Toastmasters, being the Toastmaster of the day, I absolutely enjoyed anchoring this meeting. I would like to thank VP Education Toastmaster Sheetal Agarwal for giving this opportunity. I hope you all had an enjoyable and entertaining educational session. I look forward to taking up more such assignments in the future. Before I sign off, again a small video. Can you please enable me to share a small video? Zoom Master? Toastmaster Vasanthi?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, 1 minute.
Yes,
I am doing.
Yes.
1 minute. Yes, done. Carry on.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let me remind you the theme of the day, Learn to Fly. Thank you once again, and over to you, President, sir.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Dr. Shanti Rekha, for this euphoric, fabulous, wonderful, awesome meeting. It was really enjoyable, and I can share with you it was a tough contest. It's not contest, tough voting to select the best role player, speakers, and evaluator. A very tough, which I haven't seen before. That is the reason our Zoom master and vote counter wanted more time to decide.
I'm ready, sir. I can share
Zoom
now if
master,
you permit me.
yeah, please.
Yes, here I am. Yes, the best
You
evaluator is,
can announce it.
yeah, Toastmaster Abhilash Rajashekharan. Congratulations, sir. Please give him round of applause. And the best table topic is DTM Suresh Kumar. Congratulations, sir. And the best role player is Toastmaster Dr. Shanti Rekha. Congratulations, ma'am. And the best speaker award goes to Toastmaster Sangeeta Ramaswamy. Congratulations. Over to you, President. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Zoom master and vote counter, for the wonderful job done. Now, I should really appreciate Toastmaster of the Day, Dr. Shanti Rekha, for having put extra efforts and time in making this meeting a wonderful one. The video at the start and the video at the end really was awesome. A big round of applause to Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next, I should thank our general evaluator. What evaluation! Like a wonderful job, going point by point. Like really, I haven't had such an evaluation in the past. And wonderful job, Toastmaster Uday. Next, coming to the R counter, DTM Vijay. It's a learning for us all today, like whoever had R's, and all this. Like, if you ask me, I did not give importance for this before, but today I learned that, okay, I should give importance for this in the future roles and improve the continuity of the speech. You made the difference today. That is the reason I said we have a tough contest, tough voting in selecting the best role player, speakers, and evaluators. And thanks to all other assignees, especially our Zoom master, for logging in shortly at 6:30 p.m. well in advance and welcoming all the members and guests. And let us give a big round of applause to all the assignees who have done this, who have made this meeting wonderful. Yeah, now coming to the announcements. We have our next meeting. It's a contest, evaluation and humorous contest on December 4th. It's on a Friday. We have fixed it to be on Friday because the contestants will have time to prepare in the morning, as regularly we do. And I request all members to register your names with our VP, Dr. Sheetal, so that we have a tough contest coming December 4th. Dr. Sheetal, you want to add something to this?
Good evening, everyone. There is no qualification criteria for the humorous speech contest and the evaluation contest. So I just hope to get the maximum number of the contestant, and all the best to all the contestants. Please, prepare and participate in the contest. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Next, our workshop on international speech will be on December 16th by our very own champion speaker, distinguished Toastmaster Vijay Kumar. It will be on December 16th, Wednesday. One more request to Arabians. Today, our participants number is exactly 20. We had 16 assignees and 4 table topic speakers, exactly matching the requirement. I will request all members, let us inspire other members who are not there in this meeting so that they attend future meetings, and let us all learn, grow, and enjoy our life together. And last but not the least, I should appreciate our new members, Toastmaster Yasin and Toastmaster Prashant, for doing the job excellent in the first attempt. Good job done by Toastmaster Yasin and Toastmaster Prashant. That's all from my end. Now the floor is open. Any points to be discussed?
President, I just have a small suggestions to make. I can see DTM Suresh Kumar. He's too tired. And I think we need to just rush up a bit faster and try to close it. And that's it from me. Just the time part. If there's really required to speak, let us speak. If there is any value addition to a speech, let us speak. Not just for the sake of speaking. So that's my only concern. Thank you, President.
Noted. Toastmaster Arun Vasan will be taken care in the future meetings. Sure. Okay. Any more points?
Toastmaster Arul, just one quick thing. For the upcoming contest on December 4th, you mentioned, we have, since it's evaluation and humorous, we may have many new Toastmasters, even seasoned Toastmasters, but are we planning on having any, let's say, trial run for the Zoom, how to give a speech on the Zoom? Because even the speeches I see, regular speeches, people just sit down and give the speeches. So in case we want to help the new contestants, prepare well.
Good. Yeah, good point. We will take care of that. Maybe we'll have a rehearsal session before the contest. December 1st on that time, we'll arrange one.
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, so let us have a group picture. PPR.
Everyone, please, cameras on.
Toastmaster Rabindra.
Just ignore the background noise that's coming from my screen. Rabindra, if you could switch on your camera. Okay, I'll make do with what I have. All right, 1, 2, 3.
Already I see the laptop, so laptop camera is not working. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right, 1, 2, 3, and cheese.
1, 2.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Now I adjourn this meeting. Thank you and bye.
Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody. Sangeeta, how is your toothache?
Good night. Good night.
How is your toothache?
I don't know, it's all worse now. It's all this section.